So, Kokoro Connect, episode 11. This episode's like, well, essentially we started, I guess, the third arc, and it's a lot more different. First, we got a new title, color thing, it's purple. And then, because I've noticed they've been changing in the previous ones, like from pink, green to now this purplish type. Um, and the episode pretty much starts out a little odd. At first, I thought it was a dream sequence, like, oh, hey, it's like Inaban or whatever and Taichi, and they're hanging out with these little kids. And oh shit, they look really familiar. They look like the other people from the like student CS club or something. Who the hell are they? And then later, I'm like, oh, maybe it's just a dream. Like, Inaban's having a dream that she's hanging out with Taichi, that maybe they're like in a relationship and they have these little kids. And then no, it turns out the little kids are the people because then the student like leader girl or whatever, she shows up and she's like, "Oh, hey, whoa, you have little kids. Oh, hey, how's it going?" They look like the other dudes. They look like Iori and Aoki and Yui, and they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta go. Bye." So it's like, "Oh shit, that's them." So what the hell's going on? So later we figure out that they on the board there were these names like Inaban, Nagase, Kiriyama, and Aoki or whatever, and it said from like 12 to 5. So they're like, okay, what the hell's going on? And then I guess at 12 they're like, oh, my body burns, oh, it's on fire, ah, and they're just like, oh shit, and then suddenly they turn into little kids. Like they turn into younger forms of themselves. I think one of them was like 12 or something, and the other was like 6 or 9 or I don't remember. Um, but yeah, and then they're just kids and they hang out and they're all nice and childish. But this only happens to some of them at a time. Like the first time it was Iori and Yui, I think. And then they're like, oh shit, then what the hell's going on? Like at 5, they turn back to normal. So they're like, what the fuck happened? Like a few little obvious things already occur about like, oh shit, what about clothing? And sometimes they change and they're like, what happens if they change back in the little clothes? And then it's like, oh shit, they're fucked up. Like, oh, my clothes can barely fit me, and the other one's like, oh my god, what am I doing naked or some shit? But that was bound to happen eventually. Anyway, other than that, then so one character thing. Yui meets her friend, like some previous friend or something, and she's in karate, and it's like, what the hell's going on? And this girl's really pissed, and she also, I guess, a promise is brought up, and Yui doesn't remember it, but later she starts remembering, I think, because I guess when you turn into the kid mode, you have memories of that time, so you remember stuff from when you were that age, and then you come back with that knowledge, remembering memories, and it's like fresh. So she's starting to remember some shit, and she's having some issues. But the one that got me more interested was Aoki, because when he turned little, he saw Yui, and he's like, "Oh hey, Nana-chan's sister, right?" And she's like, "No, who's Nana-chan?" And Aoki's like, later when he grows up, like they or goes back to normal age, they ask him like, who's Nana-chan? And then he's like, Nana-chan's my ex-girlfriend. And it becomes this whole thing about like, it turns out Nana or whatever looks a lot like Yui. So then it brings a question like, do you like Yui because of her, or do you like her because she looks like your ex? And that just makes him contemplate more questions, because he's all um like when do you like, and I guess this happens for everyone who knows relationships and shit, but like, when is it that you stop loving someone, or like you forget to love someone, or like you start loving someone new? Like, how the hell does that all work out? Do you still have feelings for the previous person? Yada yada yada. And it seems like it's gonna be his issue now. Like, this arc might have to deal more with his stuff. But that was a fun little interesting event. Other than that, like, let me think. Oh, and the new introduction. This whole event, it's like, what the hell's happening with Heartseed? Because what's he doing? And then it turns out Heartseed takes over Taichi's little sister, and it's like, oh shit! Like, he took over a family member, someone outside. Like, that's a big change in my aspect. Like, it's a different person. And then that person admits, I'm heart seed number 2. So that brings up the question, like, heart seed number 2, what the fuck do you mean by that? Like, so there can be more of you, and heart seed's like, I'm number 2, don't tell number 1 or don't tell anyone about this. So, because if you do, this will last forever. So Taichi's like, oh shit. So he's like, not gonna tell anyone now. And other than that, now it brings up the question, like, who is this other heart seed? Do they have issues with the original heart seed? And why are they doing this? Like, this person's just a complete mystery. But yeah. So other than that, I don't know. It works all right. We got to see little kid versions of people, like Yui in her youth was cute. Inaban as a little kid was pretty adorable. Aoki keeps turning into like toddler, I think, or toddlers or childs, or like he turns really young, where the other ones turn into like either super young or teen, I guess. I'm not really sure. And then I guess the only other thing in this is that they got a new ending theme, which is pretty cool because, like, I like that they changed for every arc. It's cool to see a little variety because some shows will just plain out use the same thing over and over, and then you don't really know if something's changing or what's going to happen. So yeah, as for the next episode, just got to figure out what the hell's going on with these kids. So again, if you like the video, like it. If you want more, subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching. Later.